Hello everyone and welcome! The last 3 videos about Shurima were based around its history. Today we will shed some light on what Shurima turned into after the fall of the Empire. The story begins around 20 years ago. It all started when Sivir's family was killed by the raiders of one of the most feared tribes. Their name was Chthons. In the weeks and months after the massacre, Sivir survived by stealing food from local markets and exploring deserted ruins in search for trinkets to sell. Most of the ruins had long since been picked clean by thieves, but Sivir excelled at finding treasures others had missed. With her keen eye and relentless determination, she exposed secret passageways, solved ancient puzzles to reveal hidden catacombs, and dodged deadly traps. Occasionally, she persuaded other children to help her plunder tombs that would be impossible to loot alone. Armed with no more than coils of rope and candles, this homeless gang would descend into the cramped tunnels beneath the ruins in search of anything worth selling. One day, Sivir and her compatriots ventured deep into a secret tomb she swore was filled with riches beyond imagining. After many hours of exploration, they finally discovered a hidden doorway, but they were crushed to find nothing more than an empty chamber. Enraged at their wasted efforts, Mira, Sivir's oldest companion, demanded she forfeit her role as a leader. Sivir refused and a vicious fight began. Mira was larger and stronger and quickly overpowered Sivir before pushing her off a ledge. Hours later, Sivir awoke alone in the dark. Fighting back panic, she retraced her steps, blind and feeling her way slowly back to daylight. Once she returned to her lair, she found her treacherous friend had fled, taking everything Sivir owned with her. Sivir swore she would never allow herself to be betrayed again. Determined to learn to defend herself, she joined a group of mercenaries led by the legendary Iya Jaro, serving as a weapon carrier, navigator, and their dog's body. For years, Sivir slept with a dagger tucked under her blanket. She placed no trust in Jaro's warriors, knowing their only loyalty was to coin, but she still wanted to learn all she could. Every day Sivir trained to fight, practicing with determination and dueling other young mercenaries. Sivir's unwavering dedication and swift growing skill caught the eye of Iya Jaro herself, who took Sivir under her wing, an honor few received. Over the years, Sivir became a formidable warrior, and as Iya's sergeant, she fought against numerous armies, raiders, and varying tribes. When the wars ended, the mercenaries struggled to find paying work. Sivir decided to lead expeditions into the ruins in search of Shurima's lost treasures. Eventually, Sivir was tired of living in Jaro's shadow. The domineering leader took the greatest share of the gold and all the glory, though it was Sivir's knowledge of Shuriman tombs that brought them much of their wealth. Worse, Jaro refused to fight for warlords whose reputation for cruelty was at odds with her martial code of honor. But to Sivir, gold was gold, no matter how bloody hands that paid it. Morals played no part in the transaction. Many of the mercenaries agreed with Sivir, and together they planned to replace Jaro as a leader. The night before everything was supposed to happen, Jaro learned of the plan. Outraged, she struck first, planning to turn her blade on her former student as she slept. Sivir had expected such an attack, and she defeated Jaro in a vicious knife brawl. Nevertheless, Sivir was surprised to find that she couldn't kill her former mentor. Remembering how Jaro had taken her in when she was no more than a bitter girl with nothing to her name. Instead, she left Jarrow alone in the desert with a half-filled water skin, a single coin, and a hollow offer of good luck. Sivir's warband quickly earned a fearsome reputation as warriors of renown and explorers that could find relics that had passed into legend. Desert barons, wealthy merchants, and collectors of the arcane commissioned Sivir to fight their wars and recover their hidden treasures. Explorers willingly paid Sivir's high price for her skill in traversing dangerous territories and navigating in ancient ruins of Shurima. Ruling chieftains hired her company to defend their lands against raiding Noxians, while warlords paid for her services early in the campaigns to ensure swift victories. In the year of 1,000 storms, the lord of an ancient Shuriman city, known as Nashrame, hired Sivir to seek a unique cross-shaped blade he claimed was a lost heirloom. He sent his personal guards along with her to guarantee its retrieval, and after a search that lasted many months, Sivir finally located the weapon. She pried it from the sarcophagus of a long-forgotten hero, buried beneath tons of collapsed rubble, with a strange sense that her entire life had been leading up to this moment. The weapon shone with gold and emeralds, and though it was ancient, its edge was as sharp as if it had been forged that day. Sivir was mesmerized by the crossblade, feeling as if it had been waiting for her. When the captain of the Nashrame guard demanded they return to their lord with his prize, Sivir knew she could never give it up. Sivir threw the crossblade in a curved arc and marveled it as it decapitated not only the captain but the 3 men behind him before returning to her hand. Never had a weapon felt so natural in her grip, so powerful to throw. She fought her way from the tomb to emerge triumphant with the lord of Nashrame's men dead behind her. Tales of Sivir's exploits and ferocity in battle were already well known within Shurima, but as her legend grew, her reputation spread beyond even the desert lands. In Noxus, stories of her deeds reached the ears of Cassiopeia, an ambitious noblewoman who desired a relic she believed was hidden in the heart of the desert. Cassiopeia had no shortage of coin, and she hired Sivir as her guide to plunder the depth of the long-lost capital of Shurima. Although she instinctively distrusted Cassiopeia, Sivir was not about to turn away such a profitable expedition. As they descended deeper into the twisting catacombs of the buried city, many of Sivir's mercenaries were killed by deadly traps, but Cassiopeia refused to turn back. After days of endless descent into darkness, Sivir and Cassiopeia finally reached a golden room with ancient emperors and ascended warriors with bestial heads carved into the walls. Most of the buried structures they had seen were shattered from millennia spent beneath the sands, but this wall was perfectly intact. Sivir felt her blood stir as she gazed at the carvings. She didn't know why, but she felt as if she recognized it from somewhere else. In that moment, her fate was sealed. Cassiopeia took advantage of Sivir's distraction and rammed a blade through her back. Sivir collapsed in agony. Cassiopeia then pried Sivir's blade from her grasp as her senses dimmed like a guttering candle. As warmth faded from Sivir's body, death closed in. But fate was not yet done with Sivir. As her lifeblood drained, her ancestor, the long-dead Emperor Azir, was resurrected by the echoes of royalty within her blood. He carried her body to the Oasis of the Dawn, a sacred pool once brimming with healing waters. Dry for thousands of years, it now overflowed with crystal water at Azir's presence. The healing waters enveloped Sivir's body, miraculously undoing the fatal wound dealt to her by Cassiopeia. Sivir opened her eyes, dazed and uncomprehending, as if dragged from a dream. A vaguely familiar face looked down at her with kindness, and Sivir blinked, unsure if she was alive or dead. As she looked around, she saw the capital city of Shurima rising up in all its glory. Even the legendary sun disk emerged from sands to reveal itself. With Azir's return, the ancient city was restored to its former majesty. Sivir had grown up hearing tales of the legendary Ascended, but though only children and fools believed in such fantasy. Surrounded by a city that stone by stone restored itself from nothing, and confronted by a long-dead emperor who spoke of his enduring bloodline and vision of a reborn kingdom, Sivir was shaken to her core. Everything she had ever believed in was cast into doubt. With his words still ringing in her ears, she retreated to her life as a mercenary, taking solace in everyday fighting for coin. She struggled to accept she might be the heir to a forgotten empire, and she tried to put such thoughts out of her mind. Even if everything Azir said were true, she was sure no one could unite the tribes of Shurima. The most powerful warlords could command small territories for a time with enough gold and warriors, but the land would never rally beneath a single banner, let alone bow to one man, even if he truly was an ancient emperor. As Azir strives to re-establish his once mighty empire, Sivir is tormented by increasing doubts as to whether she can fully return to her former life. She was given a second chance. Now she must choose her path and forge a new legacy. And that's where Sivir's story ends. What we are left with now are the mystical beings such as Skarner, Rammus and Amumu, but more about them in the next video. For now, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, feel free to rate this video, and if you are a newcomer, feel free to browse the lore of any other champion that you may find. For more personal side of this channel, you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and for more free talking while playing other games, there's my Twitch. Thank you all so much for all of your support, you know I appreciate it. So as always, thank you come again. So I'm still going through a lot of exams, but I am not going below one video a week. So far it seems like I'll be releasing one lore video a week, maybe two, I'll see about that, but definitely at least one. And that's gonna be happening for the next 2 weeks, maybe 3, but I should be done in 2 weeks. We'll see about that. I may do just quick gameplay to do some filler content, you know, maybe Overwatch, maybe League, probably League. More of you enjoy League, probably better, more, I don't know. Well, we'll see you in the next week then, so see you there.